Have you ever heard one of the following phrases? The laws of physics do not make a distinction between past and future. The arrow of time is not embedded into the laws of physics. The laws do not have an inbuilt directionality of time. These phrases were uttered by respectable physicists. I'm here to tell you that they were talking nonsense. Have a seat and enjoy. Take just any differential equation in physics with a time component. That equation has the arrow of time built in it. We have, for instance, the Schrödinger equation, the Klein-Gordon equation and the Dirac equation from quantum mechanics. Here is not the place to discuss the purpose of these equations. The only purpose of mentioning them is to show that the time component they address has the difference between a later time and an earlier time built in. Built in into the delta t's that are used. Any change in any physical variable has to be calculated by comparing that change to the change in time. The change in time is defined by the difference in time between a later moment in time and an earlier moment in time, not the other way around. It is always t1 minus t0, never t0 minus t1. So the arrow of time is built into the equation. The solutions of the equation also have time as a variable, of course. Putting a minus sign in front of that time in the solution will probably not disqualify the new solution, but that doesn't mean that the direction of time isn't clear from the start. It's always from past to present to future. So it's also from past to present to future in any proper description of a man-made physics law. And any law is man-made. Do not think for a moment that reality behaves according to laws. Reality behaves because of its properties. We infer laws. Let no one tell you that the arrow of time is not built into the equations. Let no one tell you that it isn't clear in what direction time flows in any particular solution to those equations. It is sloppy to reason that time can equally well go backwards. Time never goes backwards because change never goes backwards. You should always also be aware that time is a paper concept. It's the human way to express on paper change in real life. Time doesn't exist anywhere but on paper. Change is the only real thing. Change is always from past to present to future. These words, past, present and future, are defined on the concept of change. Change and geometric space-time structures, some of them called clocks, are the only things real in physics. The rest is on paper. Division is on paper. The second law of thermodynamics is often mentioned when stating the nonsense about the absence of the arrow of time in physics equations and laws. Some physicists refer to this law as the law responsible for the arrow of time. Don't get me wrong here, it's a very important law, but not responsible for the arrow of time at all. In formulating the law, we already need the direction of time. It's already built into the second law of thermodynamics. The fact that reality can change is responsible for the arrow of time. Time is a paper concept, remember? Causality is also a paper concept related to change. Causality is the immediate result of change. Always be aware of the difference between time and causality on the one hand, and change. Time and causality are paper concepts, to express on paper what happens in reality, while reality is changing. Running movies backward is done while change is running forward. And there it is.